Okay, so you glance in the mirror. Right. And maybe you notice that little line, between your eyebrows. We all see it sometimes. Maybe it's just an expression you make a lot or, well, getting older. But what if that line isn't just a wrinkle? What if it's actually like a profound messenger, whispering secrets about your deepest emotion? Maybe. Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we unpack fascinating ideas piece by giving you that shortcut to being truly well. And today we're diving deep into some pretty mind-bending insights from the YouTube channel Beyond the Brain, specifically their take on the secret of the line between your eyebrows.
Yeah, and our mission today is really to uncover what they see as the hidden meanings behind that line. We're going to explore how ancient wisdom from India and China actually viewed this specific area on the face. They connected it to, well, everything from your liver health all the way to your energetic flow. And understanding this might just offer some surprising paths to transform.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The source suggests this line, it didn't just happen by chance. It's not just looks or age. They call it energetic mark, like a wrinkle that's shouting something you've maybe been trying hard to keep quiet. What's really going on here?
Well, what's fascinating is how these ancient traditions saw the body. It wasn't just, flesh and bone. It was a map of deeper truth. Elders in India, for example, they called that spot Ajna. It's also known as the third eye, the center of inner vision. And they saw it as like a mirror reflecting your inner battles. And, in ancient villages, both in India and China, healers often started by reading the face, especially the brow. They saw it as this special map where the mind and soul kind of met. They knew tension or marks there meant something had been held back for too long, usually.
So you're saying if that crease shows up maybe too early, it's like a quiet warning sign from your body. It reveals which emotions are sort of ruling you, maybe which memories are steering your life without realizing.
Exactly. It's like your body's way of giving you a nudge. A persistent one. These traditions tell us that those early lines, they're actually profound energetic imprints. They reflect the patterns, the thought patterns, the emotional patterns that you've held on to, consciously or not. It's your face, quite literally writing the story of your inner world.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting. Our source connects the spot in Ayurvedic and Daoist face reading directly to the liver. The liver. How on earth does that fit into this whole picture?
Ah, yes. This connection is absolutely key. See, the liver isn't just a physical organ filtering toxins in these traditions. They believe it also stores emotions, specifically things like anger, frustration, resentment, all those unexpressed feelings we tend to carry. And this invisible weight, as the source calls it, of unexpressed feelings, it doesn't just weigh you down emotionally. They believe it can actually harden your face, cloud your gaze, even distort your energy field. Think of it like the liver has its own language, right? It filters emotion. And when anger or frustration builds up with nowhere to go, it accumulates and it looks for an outlet. Sometimes that outlet is, well, a vertical line right there on the forehead.
So it's not just about physical toxins, but emotional ones.
Exactly. Precisely. Ayurveda links this to having excess pitta, one of the doshas, the body energies. Pitta is like your internal fire. It governs digestion, metabolism, even intellect. But when it's out of balance, when that fire burns too hot, it becomes acidic, corrosive. Not just physically, but to your inner peace. And Taoist medicine sees it similarly as a sign that your qi, your vital energy, isn't flowing freely up to your head. It gets trapped, maybe by endless thoughts, worries, those old resentments. And the result is a face that appears kind of hardened, always on guard, even when you're relaxed. And this hardening, it isn't just physical. It actually changes your energy to the point where sensitive people might even perceive it, like a dense field extending from your forehead. It can affect how others see you too. Your face sends this unspoken message, I'm ready to defend myself. Ooh. Which potentially attracts more situations where you feel you have to defend yourself. It's a cycle.
Wow. Okay, so what does this mean for my wrinkle then, or yours, or anyone's listening? Does it tell a specific story depending on, say, its shape, or if it tilts slightly?
That's a really important question. How do we translate these physical signs into, actionable insights about our inner world? The force actually describes specific meanings based on the line's direction. It's quite fascinating. So if it leans slightly to the left, it might point to wounds connected to the feminine principle. That could be your mother, partners, or even struggles with your own receptive yin energy. The source even suggests it could signify a wound carried over, maybe from past lives or inherited family patterns, things you weren't even aware of. You see, the left side of the face connects to the brain's right hemisphere emotion, intuition. So a line there might signal a heart that, well, never felt quite safe enough to trust fully.
And what if it leans the other way, to the right?
If it tilts to the right, the message shifts. It points towards tension with the masculine. This could be your father, or maybe authority figures who cast long shadows in your life, or expectations that felt crushing, discipline that felt more like punishment than guidance. This side connects to the brain's left hemisphere. Logic, rules, action. So wrinkle here often tells a story of life lived, feeling like you constantly had to prove your worth. Always.
In a straight line. What about that one?
A straight, vertical, deep that tends to radiate a constant state of alertness. The source describes it as the face of a warrior who never really lowers their sword, even if the war ended ages ago. It speaks of determination for sure, but also this underlying perpetual inner tension. In these cases, the ancient sages said the solution wasn't just, say, healing the liver or relaxing the muscle. It was about retraining the soul, teaching it how to return to peace. Face reading, they assert, it isn't a superstition, it's a language. The body uses it to write messages.
This sounds like it goes way deeper than just skincare, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So how do we actually do something about this? The source says the mark can be softened, but not with creams. It talks about inner alchemy.
Yeah.
What is that? How does it work?
Right. The key is understanding that these practices are aimed at the root cause, the energetic patterns, not just the surface symptom. I mean, that mark is carved by years, often decades, of tiny expressions, recurring thoughts. They literally shape the forehead muscles over time. But the good news is the face, like the earth, it's changeable. The muscles can let go. But just massaging it, that alone won't really do it long term. You have to release what created it in the first place, which is the emotional pattern. That's the inner alchemy transforming those deep-seated emotional and energetic blocks.
So how do we release that emotional pattern? What does this inner alchemy look like practically?
Well, Ayurvedic healers, for instance, suggest specific morning rituals, things like combining deep breathing, very gentle self-massage on the brow area, and using words of release, which isn't just saying things. It's more like affirmations or journaling, actively speaking to the memories stored there, acknowledging them, and consciously letting them go. And then there's nourishing the liver, which is crucial because it's seen as the physical counterpart. The source mentions things like bitter greens, dandelion tea, turmeric with black pepper as a class, even intermittent fasting just to give the liver a rest. And just as important is avoiding things that irritate it, like too much sugar, fried foods, alcohol. It's like making a truce with your liver, telling it, okay, you won't have to fight so hard for me anymore. Oh, and something simple, but often overlooked. Sleeping before midnight. That's supposedly when the liver does its main regeneration.
The source also mentions something about the brow being the home of the Ajna chakra, or even an inverted portal. That sounds intense. What's that about?
The Ajna chakra. In Vedic tradition, that's the energetic center right there between the brows. Third eye. It's where the Ida and Pingala, the main energy channels, sort of like masculine and feminine currents running up the spine, are said to meet. So when this area is tense, it's like putting a kink in those energy flows. It blocks the upward movement of vital energy, and this directly impacts your perception. You start seeing life through the filter, the lens of your wound. Now, if it gets really blocked, the source says the ajna can become an inverted portal. Imagine it like a filter that starts working backward. Instead of insights flowing out or just being open to higher awareness, it starts drawing in stuff you don't want, intrusive thoughts, other people's heavy emotion, energies that aren't yours. So freeing this portal means cleansing on two levels, physically treating your liver well, like a sacred space, and energetically.
And how do you cleanse it energetically beyond the liver support?
Well, the rituals mentioned are often simple but profound. Things like meditating with your forehead, gently touching the ground at dawn. It's a symbol of surrender. Or applying calming oils like sandalwood or lavender there for their sort of vibrational quality. Practicing alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodhana. That's a big one for balancing the inner yin and yang, the Ida and Pingala. But maybe most importantly, it's about learning to watch yourself without judgment. Gently touching those old wounds instead of constantly trying to hide. There's even a suggested nightly practice. Place your palm over your brow and just imagine a violet light expanding there, gently erasing the mark from the inside. And the source really emphasizes these aren't just, mystical ideas. Your energy field genuinely responds to symbols and deliberate act.
It really sounds like forgiveness plays a huge role in all this too, especially forgiving yourself.
Absolutely. That's a major theme. Forgiveness, yes, toward others who might have hurt you, but perhaps even more profoundly, forgiveness towards yourself for holding on to that tension for so long, maybe for believing you had to carry everything alone because maybe you didn't know another way back then. When that deep forgiveness happens, the source suggests the physical muscles naturally let go. The energy starts flowing again. And when the flow returns, well, your destiny actually starts to shift.
Okay, so this is big. What does this all mean for me, for anyone listening, in our actual day-to-day lives? How does understanding this little line actually change things? The source even hints at quantum physics, which, wow.
Yeah, this is where it gets really powerful, how these subtle energetic shifts can have real, tangible impact. Now, we're not physicists, but the core idea borrowed here is that we're basically energy fields, constantly interacting with the world. So if your forehead, this central energetic point, is constantly broadcasting a signal of, say, alarm or defensiveness, well, your life might just keep mirroring that back to you. Conflict attracts conflict, right? Defense attracts attack. So simply relaxing the muscle isn't quite enough. You have to sort of rewrite the underlying energetic code.
And what happens when that code is rewritten, when the brow genuinely softens from the inside out?
When the brow's soft, it's not just the skin that changes. They say the whole energetic structure of your life can rearrange itself. Faces that maybe seemed unfriendly before might start smiling at you. Arguments that used to find you just dissolve before they even start. It's not really magic in the usual sense. Or maybe it is magic if you define magic as the art of changing reality from the inside out. A clear forehead reflects a clear energetic field. And a clear field, well, it acts like a magnet for experiences that truly align with your authentic nature.
So it's less about erasing the past and more about integrating it.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. Healing this point doesn't mean pretending the past didn't happen. It means integrating it fully. Those wrinkles, even the ones that fade, they become part of your story. Not as scar, but as signs of a journey you've completed. In Ayurveda, after you've done the cleansing and balancing of Pitta, the next step is nourishing Oya. Oya is like, as your body's finest essence, the juice. It brings that sparkle to the eyes, the softness. You nourish it with strengthening foods the source mentions, soaked almond, golden milk with turmeric, date, pure ghee, good stuff, and energetic daily gratitude. That's considered the spiritual equivalent of radiant skin. And many people who go through this kind of inner process, they genuinely find they start attracting kinder people. Unexpected opportunities pop up. New paths open where doors seem firmly shut before. It's not just coincidence, according to this view. A clear, soft brow is like a signal to the universe. Okay, I'm ready to receive now, not just resist.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive this has been. It really turns out that this small line between the brows, this point most of us barely even notice, could be one of the most sacred portals, holding our oldest battles, our most stubborn memories.
Yeah, and ignoring it is like leaving these really important letters unopened. But once you start to listen, really listen to what that mark is telling you, something profound can shift. It's not just that your skin might soften or your energy clears up. Your eyes actually regain their light, and your life can open up in ways you didn't expect, like you finally turned an invisible.
The source calls this a kind of truth you definitely won't see in a beauty ad or probably hear in a typical clinic. The marks on your face aren't flaws to be erased. They're deeply personal. And softening them isn't about covering them up. It's about healing the story that created them.
Exactly. When you soften that inner tension, you don't just change how you look. You literally change your vibration. And when your vibration changes, the whole universe seems to respond differently. Your entire body is this amazing map of symbols. Every wrinkle, every shadow, every little expression is a potential portal. If we've just spent time decoding this one tiny area, imagine what happens when we start opening up to the messages from the rest.
So next time you look in the mirror, maybe don't just check for wrinkles or signs of age in the usual way. Try seeing your face as this parchment where your soul has been writing day after day, a living map. A clear forehead reflects a clear energetic field, doesn't it? And the face you see can truly start to reflect. So thinking about all this, what stands out to you about the messages hidden in your own face? Something to ponder.